Welcome, everyone, to a Dose of Wisdom Real Estate podcast, where you get your daily dose of wisdom on all things real estate related. I am your host, David Stein, and today we have the privilege of having on our show Victor Baker. Victor is the managing member of the Mid-Atlantic Investment Alliance, a New Jersey real estate development company. And Victor is a prominent real estate developer in New Jersey with a focus on the Newark, New Jersey area, with a number of successful developments under his belt. Victor, thank you again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, David.
Okay. So my first question to you is, what initially motivated you to get involved in real estate?
Initially, when I got involved in real estate, which would have been in the early 2000s, at the time I was in the securities business, and I was on the retail side and I was on the trading side. But I had 2 or 3 college roommates, friends that started investing in rehabbing properties for, rental portfolio. And so from the sidelines, I really was just listening to what they were doing. They were buying pretty cheaply. The rehabs weren't, anything too outrageous. And then the finished value was, very good. And it was just a more kind of stable process than what I was witnessing and had experienced in the securities business. So, eventually I started to get involved. I think I bought a 2-family house for a very low entry in Newark. We rehabbed the property. I think we paid $40,000 for the property. We probably rehabbed it for less than 30, and it had a finished value of about 165,000. So it was just a very solid investment. Wasn't as fast as, the market opening at 9:30 and fortunes being made or lost in an hour, but it was just relatable. I think it was a little bit more complimentary to my personality.
And you were creating value.
Yes.
Okay. So many of your projects are in the Newark, New Jersey area. Why have you decided to focus on that area, and why are you bullish on the Newark area?
Again, I think it kind of goes back to how I got started in real estate, which at the time I was living in Brooklyn, downtown on Pacific Street between 3rd and Evans, not too far from now the Barclays Center. But real estate was already it was making a move. It was still affordable, but it wasn't the entry prices that I was hearing in Newark, obviously for different reasons, but to speculate, it was just much cheaper entry. And then also, I'm from Buffalo, New York originally. So I think that just like working class town with neighborhoods that have been neglected for some time, that, it was value to be created on a number of fronts, not just monetarily, but like enhancing communities, restoring properties in Black neighborhoods. So it was just kind of, again, relatable. One of my best friends was from there. So that inspired the start. Things just kind of organically progressed, and we ended up getting involved in new construction and kind of partnering with the city and the state of New Jersey. So for me, it really is just an organic process that just started and kept going. And so it started with smaller multifamily homes and speculating on some vacant lots and doing new construction on some vacant lots of infill multifamilies, then, larger new constructions. And so, that was kind of how I got involved. Ultimately, I have seen the influx of other people from the city. There's a lot of developers from New York and Newark now. Everybody's chasing value or, a little bit just less probably rigorous, challenging entry. So it is a good market, and I'm bullish there because, the density has continued to increase. You can see the investment all over the city. There's new construction sites, more and more and more each year. So it's just kind of obvious play. I think, the numbers kind of complement what we're doing. The rent has done nothing but go up. The values have done nothing but go up since we've been involved.
Okay. So the mayor of Newark has taken an active interest in some of your projects. Can you tell us more about that and what your relationship with the mayor is like?
Sure. I think originally when we got started, especially with the neighborhood redevelopment, new construction projects, I believe the mayor was a councilman at the time. So we've kind of, he's seen us from an inception into how we've kind of grown and moved along in the business. And I think he's seen us start things and finish them, and I think there's a respect just for the work ethic and integrity that we've approached the business with. Um, I think that has really probably caught his interest, just being aware of our story and watching it evolve over time.
You mentioned you've done projects with the city. How did that come about?
Just responding to requests for proposals when the city would advertise opportunities to purchase land versus on the open market. So then it was an even less expensive entry point, buying it from the city. And so then, it's programmatic. Usually that's going to be for designated use, workforce housing, low income housing, emerging market units. But that kind of attracted us to, or created the partnerships, or got us involved with the partnerships with the city once we started to procure land from the city.
Okay. So some of your investors include some prominent NFL athletes. Can you tell us more about how they came to be involved in your projects?
Sure. After our first project that we completed, we had a young lady that we went to Rutgers University with, who was in like business press, business publicity, and she had joined us and done some very good work on our project, just creating exposure and awareness for what we were doing. She had another client who happened to be Mike Adams, who I think was playing for the Denver Broncos at the time. And Mike had his own interest in urban redevelopment. I think in particular, he was interested in charter school space. So it just, from an introduction, we eventually got involved and he joined us on a project. And, we got to know each other, and I think we developed a trust, built a real relationship over time. And so Mike would really be the credit for additional players that have come to be a part of Mid-Atlantic, which you can look on our website. You see Brandon Copeland and you see Tyre Whitehead, and so we're real thankful to have them on board as well. But I definitely have to give that credit to Mike Adams for kind of creating that liaison and being that bridge for us.
Okay, fascinating. What are your thoughts about the importance of having a mentor? And did you personally have a mentor that guided you through your career in real estate?
Yeah, no, I think it's vital. So every step of the way, especially when we were transitioning into new construction, we always had someone a little more older, more experienced than us. So, even before a project starts, there's so many things going on in the pre-development phase, land entitlement phase, trying to get tax abatements, creating pro formas and pricing and analysis. So we did have a mentor there, an experienced builder who had also become a consultant in the process of doing new redevelopment projects. And then we also built a relationship just with experienced contractors. I would say that I think that's been a big part of what really got us going, is having stronger, older, experienced contractors on our team so that we could perform when we got opportunities or as we were trying to scale up. So definitely always mentors in the different areas of the business, and I would highly recommend it for anybody getting involved.
Okay, very, very sound advice. What was a challenging real estate project that you were involved in, and how did you manage to turn things around?
I would say, every project has its different challenges. One in particular, we had an opportunity that was a great opportunity, but it attracted a lot of subcontractors who didn't necessarily have sufficient credit of their own, right? So they're looking to get the job, get this opportunity. Maybe it's a good steel contract, it's a good plumbing contract, experienced contractors, but maybe not quite where they should be in their careers. So, for various reasons, we got connected with a few different trades who had experience but didn't really have the balance sheets.
Mhm.
And that became very challenging just to complete the project, right? Because then they're coming back to us for advances and to carry that particular trade. When in actuality, the tradesman should be carrying his line item. He should be getting
Right.
inspections. He should be helping to get money released from the bank. We're a team. Um, and so, we kind of just fought our way through it. Again, I kind of entered the business with financial relationships. So we were able to carry the projects even when we weren't supposed to. But it did enable our survival, right, to get from A to Z. But that was very challenging, just really learning and understanding. It doesn't take just one or two strong contractors, but your team has to be ready and prepared. And I learned we really want to be the least experienced people on the team when we're doing a development, right?
Right.
As we're growing, we want to be with all players that are more
Surround
experienced than us.
yourself with talented people.
Yeah, definitely.
So my final question to you is, what are your projections for the real estate market for the next 12 months?
Rocky, obviously, and challenging. It's really hard to secure financing. I think lenders are, deeply scouring any pro forma presentation that comes before them. Rates have more than doubled. New construction is very tough. So I do think it's going to continue to be challenging, but I think you could be selective and strategic in what you're doing. Can't say yes to everything. A lot of landmines out there. But again, I think if you're selective and you kind of pick and choose how you participate, and you're looking for these things to be beneficial as we go through a cycle, right? 3, 5, 7 years out. So I think it's challenging right now. You have to just be selective how you get involved, and you should be doing it not for 3 months from now, but for 5 years from now. I think 7 years from now. I think that's when you're going to see the value of what you're doing right now. But for the near term, it's going to be hard.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I've learned a lot. And hopefully we could have you again sometime.
Sounds good. I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about Mid-Atlantic, and look forward to chatting with you again in the future.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.